Hey, it's Mazzy here. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. 25 types of records. 25 types of records. What's that about? What is this about? Let me get situated here. 25 types of records. I chose 25 albums with only typeface on the covers. Now, I think this has been done before in the vinyl community on YouTube. People showcasing album covers with only type, and except for maybe one or two of my choices here, that's all it is, type. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole history from the Gutenberg press in the 1400s to calligraphy that goes back 500 years or something. But I just wanted to show 25 albums that I particularly like, no order, and let's get on with it. 25 albums with great type on the cover. Gard Nielsen. In fact, while I'm here, we don't need this shrink wrap. This kind of tells me what it's about, but this is Norwegian drummer's project. Very avant-garde, free, intense jazz. Incredible record. Intense record. But look at that. Look at that. Almost neo-psychedelic, whatever that means. So there you go there. A record that was amongst my favorite of 2021 is this album by the Rugged Nuggets, Odds and Ends. I love this type treatment. Now, I have to show a Beatles album. There's always a Beatle connection. Richard Hamilton, a modern artist, did this. Let's put it right in the ring there. So it looks like The Ring, 7 days. And embossed, the Beatles. Original top loader, the UK came out as a top loader. And then there was a number. And then, of course, later years, it was replaced just a black The Beatles. This album is actually called The Beatles for you youngsters, not the White Album. But that's the nickname, and we all know it now, including the Beatles knew it as the White Album once we went on, because the Beatles self-titled doesn't really do much. So that great embossed type Richard Hamilton design cover. Faithful emulates the White Album somewhat. Todd Rundgren's album, very minimal type, also embossed in black. Now, side 1 or side 2 of this, Todd Rundgren somewhat faithfully reproduces songs like Good Vibration and Rain, and If 6 Was 9, the Jimi Hendrix song. So there you go there. Nothing like having a little wonderful calligraphy when you can't show a toilet, a bathroom on an album cover. I think this is the better choice anyway. Rolling Stones, 1968's Beggar Banquet. A record that didn't get a lot of love when it came out, but has grown in stature. The Bee Gees' Odessa, and what makes this special is not only, the simple gold debossed typeface, but on this beautiful velvety, feel the velvet cover is, who knows where this copy's been. Now, there's a whole series of jazz things, and Reed Miles for Blue Note designed some fabulous covers using type. Unity by Larry Young. Jack and McLean, 2 great covers with Jack and McLean. One is Right Now, Jackie McLean with the typewriter font. Then Jackie McLean's It's Time. Look at this. Just the exclamation marks, multiple exclamation marks. Yes, you're seeing reflections in my glasses, but that's the way we're going here in this particular video. I'm trying to be a little artsy. This is just kind of a fun video in between my videos that aren't so fun. Free Jazz, Leonard Cohen. Now, this is one of the few that I did include with an image. I didn't really want to do that, but I just love the use of the simple sans serif typeface. If you don't know what a sans serif is, this is a sans serif. That's what it is. Look it up. Learn it somewhere else. I'm not a encyclopedia. Free Jazz, a collective of improvisation by the Ornette Coleman Double Quartet. Avant-garde, freeform jazz. Another Reed Miles is this. Of course, yes, there's a little picture there, but again, almost like psychedelic, pre-psychedelia. This was originally put out in 1962, and look how wild that looks. It's kind of like in those films when they just showed the results of smoking marijuana and just everything kind of blurs, like Reefer Madness or something. But the great Lee Morgan Rump Roller, Blue Note Classic, I believe, or a Blue Note 80, one of the two, I can't remember right now, but a fantastic jazz record. And then an all-time favorite of mine is Bill Evans' Trio. And a lot of people don't even notice that all these quotes are by various jazz musicians. So the first one everyone digs, Bill Evans, and that's Miles Davis's quote. Bill Evans is one of the most refreshing pianists I've heard in years. George Shearing, great pianist in his own right. I think Bill Evans is one of the finest. Ahmad Jamal. And Bill Evans has a rare originality, and that's Cannonball Adderley, Julian Cannonball Adderley, but a great cover. This is Riverside Records, Bill Evans. Go through ECM, you know, there's several albums, solo albums that Keith Jarrett did, but the Cohen Concerts is most famous probably. That was the big one. But Bremen Lausanne, that's Switzerland, I believe. Beautiful solo box set. This is before Cohen Concert, I believe, in a box set, ECM Records. Fantastic album, very moody, wonderful. Now let's get into the more pop and folk and rock vein. The posthumous release by Leonard Cohen. This is his son, Adam Cohen, put this together. This is a touching, romantic, beautiful, sensual record. Thanks for the Dance, Leonard Cohen. Miss him dearly, big fan of his, but I just love, and I love how in the back they do this sort of sketch with just the typeface. Really nicely done, embossed as well. These are like wedding invitations, right? Now, this this is one. I have 3 albums here, but I'm counting these as one just because you'll see why. Chicago Transit Authority. They used their logo forever. It became like Coca-Cola in a way for them. Chicago 2 and Chicago 3. You know the rest. You know everything else about Chicago. Now, I said many times, you don't see it here, but they started naming these Chicago 1, Chicago 2, Chicago 3. Not 1 because that was Chicago Transit Authority. They had to change the name because the actual Chicago Transit Authority. So, and I think they single-handedly destroyed Roman numerals as they went on with Chicago 87, XXI, XXI, you know what I'm talking about, V, put a VIXX in there. Worth the Jefferson Airplane, which is actually the best Jefferson Airplane, RCA Records, with this beautiful, almost like a custom typeface, which I really love this one. And Nipper in the back, his master's voice. The special edition of Triplicate, very religious, iconic typeface, like ye old. It's like this is, you're looking at the scriptures here. This is a 3-record set, one of 3 separate releases he did of sort of standards, almost Sinatra-like, that he recorded in the Capitol Recording Studios at the Capitol Tower, Hollywood and Vine. And I love this stuff. Some people aren't thrilled with these, but I think these are great records. But I love that on that cover. Lovely done. Now, this is a fun one. This could have been another group. This could have been so many groups. Hypnosis, the art team, Strom Thurgeson, who worked on Pink Floyd and Paul McCartney and 10cc and so many others, designed these great covers. XTC has a meeting with them for their next album cover, and they go and they see nothing they like. They're pitched several ideas. As they're walking up, they see a giant version of this leaning up against the wall and say, well, what's that? This is a record cover. This writing is the design upon the record cover. And it's basically a generic record cover that they did eventually customize for XTC somewhat. But this was a generic record cover, and I think it's fabulous. XTC's Go To is the name of the album. This is Electric Mud, Muddy Waters. Just so simple, so poignant, so on target here. You know, love this record. XX. This is a cool record. This is a die cut cover. X. We got Randy Newman's last album, Randy Newman, Dark Matter. Interesting record, somewhat political, some very topical. I think Putin Puts His Pants On is on here, Putin, which is pretty funny. Randy is so sardonic, so on point and hysterical in his writing. But a beautiful writer, a favorite of mine, Dark Matter. Just very simple cover type. The Hindu Love Gods. I love this simplicity of this cover. This is what you might call it a super group, but it's Warren Zevon being backed by the members of REM. And they do a fabulous version of Prince's Raspberry Beret on here. So I love that album. Hindu Love Gods, Warren Zevon, and REM. We're getting here, this was on my top records of the year, Intense Quiet record, Carnage. I mean, look at that. So simple. Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. Dramatically simple, not simple, dramatically quiet record. A box set, 10-inch box set, 69. This is 69 love songs by the Magnetic Fields. 69 love songs. It's exactly what a breakup of love, of loss, of fantastic record, indie. This came out, 20 years ago, 1999, so 22 years ago. Love this cover. The box CD is exactly the same. This is how it originally came out when it came out on vinyl, and it's been reissued so many years ago. It might still be available, but it's a fantastic set of songs. Very personal. And then I'm ending with a 45. To me, it's one of the great, intense singles, breakout solo singles by one of the Beatles. And that's John Lennon, Instant Karma. Recorded, mixed, and put out within a week or so. Instant Karma. That's how he wanted it done. He wanted it just to be instant. In the back, Yoko Ono, Who Would See the Wind, obviously. The whole war is over concept of the type. Yoko influence, Yoko designed. Fantastic single and fantastic type cover. So that's Mazzy's look. 25 types of albums. Mazzy loves you, but doesn't really like this guy.